My theme is Canvas. That's an interesting technology. It can be used for different tasks. I found information on the MDN resource. It can be used for drawing graphics, for animations, for game graphics, for data visualization, for photo manipulation, and we used it in task photo filter and for real-time video processing. To answer this question, we should decide is it a good technology for current task or not. So what can we use else? We can use HTML elements like images, divisions. It is easy to use, but if there are many elements, it has problems with efficiency. We can use SVG. It is good for high fidelity and for large graphics, but it has the same problems with efficiency. And HTML5 Canvas is fast and flexible. It has hardware acceleration, so it's better for complex graphics. But it's less abstraction and more complicated to use. So if you have many complex graphics, use Canvas. How to use? We should create a Canvas HTML Canvas element and then use it in JavaScript. It has only two properties within height that they show a number of pixels by vertical and horizontal. The default value is 300 for width and 150 for height. It has 5 methods: get context, to data URL, to blob, capture stream, and transform control to off screen. And let's figure it out. It's closer. The most important thing is context. To get context, we use method to get context, and if we pass 2D parameter, we will receive canvas rendering context 2D. We can draw shapes like rectangles, like paths, lines. We can move our point to any position in our canvas. We can draw arcs. We can use the method arc2 in paths, and we can use Bezier in quadratic curves. Then we can use path to the objects. It's good for saving our paths. Here I saved rectangle path to variable rectangle and circle path to variable circle, and then I can use it in any part of my code. And I can also use SVG path like in the past example. I can change styles and colors in Canvas using properties fill style and stroke style, and I can use gradient and patterns by creating a gradient and then using it in for example, fill style. And we can change global transparency, but if you don't need to choose it in every element, better use RGBA parameter of color. And we can change line styles, line cap, line join, meter limit. We can set line dash using an array. If an array is empty, it will be a solid line, and if we pass more parameters to an array, we will get a dashed line. And we can offset line up or down or left using parameter line dash offset. And we also can use shadows in Canvas. We can also draw text, and the default parameter for text is 10 pixels size, and font sans serif. We can also change text alignment, change text baseline, change direction of the text, and this is an example how we can use it in our code. We can draw images using method draw image, and if you pass 3 parameters we draw the whole image, and if we pass 5 parameters we can scale the image, and if we pass 8 parameters we can slice image using source parameters of image and destination parameters. And we can also turn off smooth. By default it is turn on. We can also use transformation of shapes, but before it we should know about saving and restoring state using a save method and restore method. If we save our state, it will put on a stack and then we restore it from it. We can translate canvas shapes, rotate canvas shapes, scale it, or use method transform to change all of these parameters and to get something like that. And we can composite and clip our canvas shapes. Default value for compositing is source over when new shapes are under existing shapes, and more types you can find on MDN. There are very much of them. And we're going to clip path and then fill a shape in this clipping path, and we're going to get something like this star. We can also use animations, but before it you should know that before drawing a new frame we should clear the canvas, then save the canvas state, then draw animation shape and then restore the canvas state. And for using time reference we can use set interval method, set timeout method, and request animation frame, but request animation frame is a smoother and more efficient way, and we can get something like that. And the simplest example, I created canvas, I got context and created a variable for request animation frame. I created ball with initial position, with velocity, radius, color, and with function draw, which draw the ball on the canvas. And then I created function draw that clear rectangle before drawing shapes. Then I draw ball, then I check if this ball is in the square or outside of the canvas, and then I add velocity to initial ball position, and then I run request animation frame, and I got something like that. We can also manipulate with pixels in canvas. First of all, we should get pixel data. For this, I created a canvas with red, and filled it with red color. Then I got image data, and I got an array of pixels. Then I go through all these pixels and change it, and then I put this image data to my canvas, and I got this array, and I can save images using toData URL method, and got database 64 information about your image, and I can use toBlob method and use callback that can render a new image. And I can also use WebGL context, but that's another theme. And I can also use capture stream method to capture frame, and it will be consist of one track that can be added to RTC technology and using for streaming. And I can say some words about Offscreen Canvas, but it is experimental technology, and it helps to render. It uses it's can be rendered off screen. So we can use walkers and use another background thread to render shapes on the canvas. And we can use context bitmap renderer to use in the off screen. To optimize canvas, we can pre-render similar primitives or repeating objects on the off-screen canvas using off-screen canvas. We can avoid floating point coordinates and use integers instead, because if we use floating points, it run more complicated processes. Don't scale images into image. You can download it, or not download. You can use it in off-screen canvas. Use multiple layer canvases for complex scenes. For example, in the game you can create background layer, game layer, and UI layer, and use plain CSS for large background images. For example, division for background, and scaling canvas using CSS transform, and you can turn off transparency, and that's it.